I have come here with so many questions on my mind. Today, as you all know, is 30th of May, a sacred day, a special day. We celebrate our fallen heroes. And who are our fallen heroes? Our fallen heroes are our mothers, our fathers, our brothers and sisters who were massacred in the civil war that happened in 1967 to 1970. A civil war that could have been averted if Gowon had agreed with what him and Ojukwu discussed. 1967 to 1960 was a day a Yoruba man named Awolowo massacred or starved over 3.5 million Igbo children. I want you to also note that. A Yoruba man massacred 3.5 million Igbo children. I have come here with a whole lot of feelings, nostalgia, and so many things rolling on my mind. I don't know where to start, but of course I will start somewhere. I want to ask you a question. Today we are celebrating our fallen heroes. You know that our brothers and sisters who were massacred in that genocide did not just wake up and say they no longer want to exist. It was because of the marginalization, the ill treatment, the way they are maltreating the Igbos in Nigeria. That was what led to the civil war. The war did not just happen. It wasn't a coincidence. It happened because the Nigerian state has always been against the Igbos. This same marginalization is why Nnamdi Kanu is still in DSS custody. And today, Nnamdi Kanu is still in detention. He was kidnapped from Kenya because he's an Igbo man. And up till today, they are still going from one court to another court, saying the same thing, repeating the same lines. Why? Because they don't want him to be released. I've come here to ask you a question, Mokonyi. I heard that you people are calling Adeze Oziwondo. Who is Adeze? Adeze is one of the so-called billionaires we have in southeastern part of Nigeria. They say that Adeze is a rich man and on has own Igbondo. I'm asking you. If you say that Ojukwu is Oziwondo, I will agree. Oziwondo, because when they were maltreating the Igbos in Nigeria, Ojukwu did not keep quiet. The way Yirikaki is a soldier, Onyami. He can't go on. You know, I can't allow you to continue treating my people like this. Something has to be done. And what will be done? It is either we come on the table and talk about the regionalization of Nigeria or the separation of Nigeria. One thing must happen. Because my people are all over the country. You go to the north, the west, the south, the east, every part of the country, you will see Igbo men there domiciled and doing their businesses. So why are you massacring my people in the north? Why the 1960, 1957, 1945, the Igbos, they killed? Why are you doing that to my people? Gowon did not give him any reasonable or responsible answer. Ojukwu said the only option or the only way out to all this shenanigan happening to my people is just for us to discuss regionalization. Gowon agreed initially, but all of a sudden, he said he was no longer in agreement with regionalization. Every man go to your region and develop it. That was what led to the war. And you all already know this news. Nnamdi Kanu, because of that reason, has been kept in DSS custody because of the Nigerian state against the Igbos. And I'm at Jogo today. How many times have you seen this out there almost in Oziwondo? How many times have you come out to talk about the marginalization and the problems of Igbo in Nigeria? How many times have I there almost in Oziwondo Potagoro say these Fulani herdsmen when they find my people for Southeast, this thing cannot continue. I will not allow this. Because I am one of the leaders of the Southeast or my people in Igbo land, and I will not allow Fulani terrorists to continue taking the lives of my people. I ask you, Kedi Hemeru, Kedi Hunu Jabo, Adreze, Nona Zondi Bondo. The seaport what we are talking about in the southeast, Igbo don't have seaports, southeast don't have seaports, we don't have international airport, there is no presence of government, the federal government in the southeast. The whole thing is crystal clear that these guys, they literally don't want us in Nigeria. This is what the birds of the earth can attest to, that Nigeria state is against the Igbos. That is why anytime you're talking about, oh, we want a head of state, we want an Igbo man, they will say, for what? How can you give an Inyamiri? How can you give an Igbo man the opportunity, the chance of becoming the #1 citizen of Nigeria? Because of the way they perceive the Igbos. And we don't know the reasons for all this. That is where I bring Adeze again in this picture. What is Adeze saying about his people that have been marginalized? The 1960 to 1970 genocide. What is Adeze? What is his view or his opinion about the way his people were massacred because they are asking for one thing? Stop treating me like a 10th class citizen. I am part and parcel of Nigeria. If all of us will have to be one, then whatever you give to A, you have to give it to B. Whatever you give to B, you have to give it to C. When you give a northern part of a northern man the chance, or you give him a portion of the meat, and when you come to my turn, you give me biscuit bone, or you tell me that meat don't finish, then I will call you, I will see myself as an orphan. In a family, a man will always give one part of one of his child food or meat, or his inheritance, and the other one he say will not. I will ask for a DNA because that man will not be my father. A man who always treats me like a slave should not be my father, and there is no way, and there is no need I should continue living with them. That is the case of Ndibo in Nigeria. Kedi hemera Adeze jiwe wuro ozi Igbo. Adeze kedi hemera ijazi kedi biz of Ndibo before. Adeze is a stooge. Adeze is money misruled. Adeze does not have the interest of Ndibo at heart. Adeze should not be bestowed. Such title should not be bestowed upon Adeze. It is a sin. It is unsound for us to continue calling Adeze Ozigbondo. Adeze wafo ko na azondo. Adeze na azodi undo of his family. Ona azondo Igbondo. Because ona gozi na Adeze Ozigbondo. This man, every problem where Igbo people they complain from Nigeria, you cannot hear Adeze say one thing. Adeze called the Buhari that now Buhari go give the woman presidency. That is what Adeze said. Up to today, we don't see Jack. He invited Buhari enter the southeast. Adeze with the microphone. Now going. Adeze today is together with Tinubu. Sana Tinubu don't know now. Adeze, his brother Nnamdi Kanu is in DSS custody. Adeze is not saying anything about his brother that is being detained illegally. Don't forget. That title should be ripped off of him because he doesn't deserve it. He's a slave to Fulani and Afonja. Such a man should not be honored in Igbo land. We are Igbo people, we don't tolerate rubbish. We are Igbo people, we don't give relevance to nuisance. Adeze is a nuisance and he should not be called Ozigbondo. Ona azafo yando, ona azo family yando, munye ko ona azondo, umuye ko ona azondo, ona azondo Igbondo. Fulani go enter, take my people, buy my people. Adeze no go say anything. He will enter bed with Fulani and Afonja. Tomorrow na say more Ndibo ko ona azondo. Tell me one thing where Adeze don't do what is on Igbondo. Just one. I'm not asking for two. Just one. Tell me, I want you to, in simple sentence, maybe one or two sentences, how is Adeze Ozigbondo? Can you talk about before? Ojukwu father, billionaire. Ojukwu billionaire. Ojukwu yirikake. Say that you can't treat my people like this. I can't watch you treat my people like this. It's either this or that. If you don't want that, you have to want this. And if you say you don't want this, you must go for that. That was what led to the massacre. Over 3.5 million Igbos. Awolowo aided and abetted that genocide. He starved Igbo people. Yoruba man, okay Yoruba. Starved Igbo. go on. Don't give these people food. You are fighting war with them and you defeat them. You allow food to enter their land. If you continue at this pace, these guys will fight for 10 years and they're not going to relent. Just start them and watch the war die a natural death. Go on and say this is a very good, it's a good suggestion. We have to stop food from entering. Now why you look like our people started supply food and water during the war, and Nigeria will become history. 4 years they kidnapped Nnamdi Kanu. 4 good years. 4 good years. Anything when you talk about Igbo man, everybody in Nigeria wants to kick against it. Other tribes, they are fighting in the Igbo in the morning, fighting in the Igbo in the afternoon, fighting in the Igbo in the night. Igbo not the lake water keep crops for Nigeria, and they say that we are one Nigeria. What made us one Nigeria? Nothing. But what if we made one Nigeria? One Nigeria is only working for Hausa and Yoruba. Hausa and Yoruba will bring their worst of their worst, their imbecile. They will impose them on us and tell them, say these people will live. Now this is the best. Look at the best Yoruba get. See the best where Yoruba get. See the best where Hausa get. Buhari, the worst of their worst, they lead us. People that are progressive and inspiring, Hausa and Yoruba will bring imbeciles for us and impose them and ask them to govern us. And after that, such title, remove that title. Don't call Adeze. Oh, we hear many gods. I want Adeze to say that no honor. Also, my family. Oh, when do we in Azondo? In Azondo, Wondo. Makayo na Bafalundi. On go Pim. You don't speak about Igbo. You don't talk in favor of Igbo. If you see the things that are going on in our land, you do not speak. You are classless. You are classless. That is why you can never be Ozibondo. If you are reasonable, you Igbo man watching me, you should stop calling out as Ozibondo. Onakozina des Ozibondo ana jama bi won bi ana wujoba. Owo hiye mera des Ozibondo. Because he did not keep quiet when they were marginalizing us. And Nnamdi Kanu, these are the men you should call Ozibondo. Not the Fulani puppets, not the Afonja stooge. An Afonja stooge should not be called Ozibondo. I summarize by saying, today is the 30th of May, a very special day. A day we reflect on our journey into Nigeria and how we managed to enter that sentence that never favored us. And we also reminisce on how the genocide happened, what led to the war, and how our people, millions of Igbo children, died of kwashiorkor. And that was how the war ended. And the Igbos are still in Nigeria. Nothing has changed so far. It is still the same thing. What led to that war was not addressed. Because instead of them to address it, they carried their bombs and their guns. They entered our place and started bombing the southeastern part of Nigeria. All because they want us to forcefully stay with them as one. And they are not practicing the one Nigeria. I ask Nnamdi, which way for us? Which way? May the souls of our fallen heroes who paid a very painful price. A painful price. They paid a painful price. They fought with empty stomach, without food and water. Even while Awolowo was stabbed them, they were still fighting. May their souls continue to rest in the bosom of the Lord. Amen. Thank you for watching.
Okay, Divya. Every word in
Mr. Chinedu, let us look at the whole southeastern part of the country. Everywhere seems to be experiencing it at home. It's not the fact that the National Security Advisor, Nurubado, said that Tinubu's government have solved most of the problems. That sit at home is not going to be significant. But in what looks like civil disobedience, the people are indoors. The 85 million Biafrans all over the world. What I mean Biafrans, I'm talking about the entire eastern region, and who are marking, because it's not only the Igbos. You know, I have some observation when they say Igbo. Yes, Igbo might be the umbrella name, but we're talking about Biafrans, and nobody's going to stop today. See today, not even the federal government. But there's no government in the eastern part of the country, and no governor, no senator is being recognized. As far as today is concerned, nobody. That's the picture. You know, if you go to Catholic churches, everywhere, banks, everywhere is shut down. You know, everybody is just looking at the life and times of those 6 million Biafrans that died as a result of incompetence, as a result of bad leadership, as a result of, you know, Gowon's inability to provide leadership. And let me ask you, what is war? War is the absence of leadership that brings about anarchy.
But let me even ask this question, because some people have blamed Gowon, because after the war, Gowon said no victor, no vanquish. He came out with the issue of 3R: reconstruction, reconciliation, and integration. Are you satisfied so many years after the war whether the government have been able to reintegrate the Igbos or other Biafrans into Nigeria?
No, let me tell you, no vanquish, no victory, or whatever it is, was just a media creation. That was what the document stated. What the document stated is that Effiong signed a ceasefire. It was a ceasefire agreement. There was no victor, no vanquish. Nobody was interested in that. I can tell you that is how they factor some of these things that are not true. Can Gowon probably come out and tell us that what transpired on the day the war stopped was no victor, no vanquish? Who's interested in that? What happened there was that Effiong entered a ceasefire that has some policy, some things that to be met, like the issue of, you know, rehabilitation, reconstruction, whatever it is. There was nothing like conquer. The Biafra was not conquered, and in the absence of those things, you know, reintegration of the Igbo people inside the system, then you know that the Biafra war has continued, and the Biafra war has continued politically, economically, socially, and otherwise. We are still on it till this very moment. So we are mourning the day the Igbos found identity, the Biafrans found identity, the old Eastern region found identity. We are mourning the day that the world recognizes that the worst genocidal war on the history of mankind took place in Africa. Over 6 million Biafrans were killed.
Now, as we mark this in Nigeria, we understand that globally in Europe, the same thing is happening. Everywhere have Biafrans globally. And that's even come to mind. When the Biafrans gathered in Latin Finland the other time for the declaration of Biafra, it's not the fact that the Nigerian government declared territorial organization. They did it within the watchful under the watchful eye of international media. Nobody was handed, nobody was arrested. Why is it that the world, like UN, European Union, countries of the world see Igbos, Biafra, IPOB differently from Nigeria?
Oh yes, and they will continue to see differences in all this. But the fact is remain is that who are you? That's the number one question. Who are you? Who are you brings about your identity. Who are you brings about your culture and tradition. Who are you also brings about where you are coming from. You can't tell me that at this point we are going to return back to Aburi, where Gowon cannot be able to interpret simple English. Gowon does not know the meaning of confederation. So are we returning back for people to know that there are indigenous people, there are owners of lands, people own land, people found lands. As simple as that. So you cannot take this away from the reality of who they are. They are Biafrans, and that's what they are. And nobody, the world knows, it's no longer a hidden thing. But fortunately, we know what happened in 1999 where the ethnic laws resurfaced in Nigeria. We have the Arewa, we we have the OPC, we have the MASOP as at that time, to tell you that the so-called war fought by, Gowon was a war of continuity, of disunity.
Okay, now let's just take our attention to Finland, where Samarapa's legal team are preparing for his defense, and they made it very clear that they'll be calling witnesses to ensure that Samarapa is given the good legal representation he deserves. And as it stands, in the Carlos case in Nigeria, we had a situation where the Samarapa threw away DSS evidence because Nnamdi Kanu made it abundantly clear that they were interrogating in the absence of his lawyer, and at the end of the day, the judge did a trial within trial and confirmed that the Constitution, or rather Supreme Court judgment severally have ruled that you must interrogate a suspect in the presence of his lawyer, meaning DSS video evidence is inadmissible in court.
Omotosho would not like to carry conspiracy, against Nnamdi Kanu. We are here when Lai Mohammed, Malami, Buhari, and Femi Adesina, we are celebrating the illegal rendition of Nnamdi Kanu from Kenya. Today, the same federal government is denying. They don't know how Nnamdi Kanu, was brought back to Nigeria. So that's the reality of the foundation of the Nigeria, is that the Nigerian foundation was laid on corruption, deception, and lies, and we cannot be part of it. Nigeria is a dark nation. Nigeria needs darkness.
Okay, let me even bring this to attention. Let me bring this to attention because we are talking about Biafra Day. Contrary to the position of the National Security Advisor, all the road in Biafra land is shut down.
It's a must. Because there's no government in the southeast. The only government we have is the government of Nnamdi Kanu. You see all these Fulani governors, but let them come out now. They said that let them come out.
So this is obedience to Nnamdi Kanu.
But the governors, everybody must be loyal to that man, because he is just another face of Africanism. Nnamdi Kanu is another face of sovereignist partner to African liberation. Nnamdi Kanu has produced, as so many followers who have understood the consequences of being loyal to an entity that has no value. Who will resist it? That's the resistance. That's what is happening in Burkina Faso. And you can see it in that judgment 2 days ago, or yesterday, or thereabout, where the same thing Nnamdi Kanu is talking about happened in the presence of everybody. We don't know where Omotosho is coming from. We don't know what to know. But the reality on ground is that the Ghanaian chief judge in Abuja said that he wants to see how Nigerian judiciary is going to go about the case of Nnamdi Kanu.
If I may point out this, because in the past recent time, we have seen the president talking about Fabio making abundantly clear that even Samarapa government Eastern region from Finland, that Samarapa will say sit at home, even the governors will obey and they will not go anywhere. Because if they go to work,
I'm telling you, when you talk about the reality on ground, what is the impact of the governor? Look at the Hope Uzodinma now. He said, Nnamdi Kanu is IPOB. The people who are killing people in the southeast now are not state actors. Why are you not listening to Hope Uzodinma? Has he repented? We don't know. But for him to come out 9 minutes, I'll be saying this kind of a thing. You that have access to several information, saying it clearly, it is a no signal to tell you that the conquest agenda politically is real, and that the only obstacle is Nnamdi Kanu. Not only for the Igbo people, not only for the Easterners, not only for the Biafrans, for the entire Christian society, Christian communities in Nigeria, including the North. That's the reality. The world does not communicate directly to anybody in the eastern part of the country apart from IPOB leader, Nnamdi Kanu. The world wants to know what he's doing. You can see the consistency, you can see the resilience, you can see the spirit, you can see the coordination, you can see the intelligence, you can see the focus, you can see the courage, you can see the character. They said he's not an Igbo man. Well, Nnamdi Kanu is an Igbo man.
But let me even ask this question.
Okay, you've not seen this.
Let me ask this question.
You have not seen that kind of expression of Igbo.
No, I'm not doubting that. Let me ask you, because if you look at currently, we are seeing the likes of Russian foreign affairs ministers
telling countries of the world, even UN, to start obeying and respecting self-determination. We have seen the Vine, who of course was a lobbyist of Nnamdi and Medical Chief of Staff to Samanepa. We see Biafra doing exploits globally. And recently I saw a video of a Russian soldier who made it very clear that he is of Igbo extraction. What is happening?
What is happening is the reality of the Igbo identity. What is happening is the reality of Biafra. You know, a lot of people have come to embrace Biafra because Biafra is the genuine face of Africanism. That's the fact, you know. And what does that mean is that, you know, Nigeria did not owe Biafra. That's the first thing you should know. Nigeria never owed Biafra, you know. The people that owe Biafra. Biafra is bigger than Nigeria. Biafra has been existent before Nigeria. 500 years before Nigeria was given birth. And look at it, if not more than that, you know, from where it was coming from the kingdom, the first kingdom recorded on earth. A lot of people want to disagree with that, but history has a way of proving some certain things, right? The ancient black Hebrews are Biafrans, and that's what is said. That kingdom was named after them. It was not Igbo that named Biafra. Why people can't they go and read that today we are marking the genesis, the beginning of our identity? As simple as that. Necessity led us to discover that these people of the eastern region are the Biafrans, the ancient Biafrans. They talked about so many years until it got to a point that it was not in existence. Until a Portuguese researcher came and said, no, that kingdom have existed, and this is where the remnants of that kingdom is, and that remnants of that kingdom was found in Ethiopia. Okay, go and check. Even Lagos State, there's still a place called Lagos in Portugal. There's still a place called Biafra in Portugal. Can't they find out everything? What do people do now?
I think I must say very thank you for your time. Thank you very much.